now, to make a small dice, you square it off, you slice thin planks, and then you take a few of the planks and stack them up on top of one another, slice down into really thin, sort of toothpicky size pieces, and now you cut the toothpicky pieces crosswise to a mince. All right, so now you want to mix this up because all that fresh herbs makes sort of a paste, and you want to make sure it's evenly combined, and all that garlic and that oil and that lime juice is really going to help to make it come together. And we're going to start to put this onto the chicken. Before you start, you want to lift up the skin. You don't want to rip it off. You want to make just a little pocket for the rub to go without pulling it off the edges. And into that pocket, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of this rub, which is a fair amount. You want to spread that out. And actually, the brining helps loosen the skin, so it's really easy. Use the skin to actually help you scoop the measuring spoon out. And with the rest of this rub, we're going to rub it nice all over on top and then on the bottom as well. So we're really infusing as much flavor as we can into this chicken. This is not boring chicken. This is not your everyday bland chicken off the grill. This is worth actually firing up a grill for. We're ready to go put those on the grill.
We're out here in the barbecue portion of America's Test Kitchen, and the coals look like they're about ready to go for the chicken.
They're perfect. You can see that the flames have started to actually come out the top, and that's a good sign that they're all hot. And also, they've gotten that silvery gray coating on the top. And for this recipe, we're just going to dump the coals into half the grill. Banking all the coals up to one side is known as a 2-level fire, or sometimes a modified 2-level fire. And then using a long pair of tongs, even them out. If you have a lot of coals built up against the side, you're going to make a hot spot. So evenly distribute the coals over exactly half the grill. So those coals are nicely evenly laid out.
Let's go with this.
All right, so here's the grill grate. It's obviously cold. I'm picking up with my hands. We need to make sure the trap doors are closed, and then put it on over the coals, put the lid on. We're going to let this heat up for 5 minutes before we begin cooking.
So it's been 5
minutes, right? We found it easier to clean your grill when it's hot, right before you begin cooking your next meal. And the best grill cleaning tool we found is this Grill Wizard. It has these steel mesh pieces that attach, and you can actually remove and replace. And just clean off the entire grill. We're going to use both the empty side and the hot side of the grill. And then now, we're going to actually oil the grill instead of the food. I mean, you can do one or the other, but for this application, because the rub is all over the chicken, we're actually going to oil the grill. And this is a restaurant technique. You have a bowl of vegetable oil, a wad of paper towels, clamp it in some tongs, dip the oil in a bowl. Sometimes this can get a little fiery, but that's what makes it fun. And again, you want to make sure you oil the entire grill because we're going to be using most of it for the cooking of this chicken. Those flames will die down. So now we're ready to add the chicken, and I'm going to give you the timer. And it feels silly, again, to be cooking something kind of this backyardy and this casual with a timer, but it really does help to ensure that you have properly cooked meat at the end. So we're going to start skin side down over the hot side of the grill, and we're going to do this for 3 minutes. And as you can imagine, some of that rub's going to fall off and hit the fire, but that's okay. There's plenty under the skin for flavor.
So we're going to sear it 3 minutes on skin side down.
Right.
3 minutes turning it the other side, skin side up. And that's just to get the skin crispy.
Exactly. And it's tempting to get in there and poke it. Just leave it alone.
3 minutes. There you go.
All right. Now that charred little bit may look burned, but for this flavor combination, we're trying to replicate street food, which is grilled, and that charring is only on the skin, so you don't have to eat it, but also it lends a really authentic flavor. So again, another 3 minutes on this side. We're going to move them over to the cool side now, where we're going to let them finish cooking through. So we left them over the hot side. Those flames would really char them to bits. And they're actually going to get quite a bit of color, even though they're cooking over virtually no coals. And you could put the lid on if you wanted to, but actually on the underside of that lid, there's a lot of residue. So instead of using the lid, we're actually going to use a disposable pan, which not only is clean, but it's smaller, and it really will replicate more of an oven scenario underneath the grill because it fits nice and tight and there's not a lot of room, and the heat from the coals will get trapped under there and really help the chicken cook through evenly.
It's actually creating a little oven.
Exactly. 10 to 15 minutes is all it's going to take.
Okay.
The timing, again, depends on the size of your chicken breasts, and those can vary dramatically. What you're looking for is an internal temperature of 160.
Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes.
It's time to take the chicken's temperature. Again, we're looking for about 160. 159, 160, there we go. So that's how we know they're perfectly cooked. And we're going to take them off. We're actually going to let them rest for about 10 minutes inside. They'll continue to cook as they sit off the grill and bring them up to about 165, 170, which is safe for eating.
Good to go?
We're good to go.
All right, inside?
Inside we go.
All right, here we go. Chicken's off the grill, and it's rested now 10 minutes.
That's right. You want to let the
And-
juices redistribute, and you want to let it finish carryover cooking. Now, like I said earlier, that little bit of charring is good. I mean, it's the skin that adds a nice authentic flavor, and it's not going to taste burned, you'll notice. And you can see
It looks
it's just so juicy. Here you go, hungry man. Now put a little of that sauce on it. Now that sauce is where it is at.
Mmm.